Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Hashem, El Shai, Hashem, Rukakodah, Shalom to the 144,000, the rest of you elect out there, Shalom to you all. And I'm going to title this video, Remember, You Heard It First at GMS. You heard it first at GMS concerning the MOTB, which is an acronym for the mark of the beast. So you have a video right here put up by GMS. Babylon is falling. This is the elder out of merry old England, Yachanan, who he has made 3 trips to New York and got with us on 3 different occasions. So this is a video, and you should subscribe to him. You see I subscribe, I get his notifications. The foundation for the MOTB microchip is not a picture of Cesar Borgia. I noticed this right here by David 2, backed by little little pictures of Cesar Borgia. Foolishness. Yeah, your credits are going to be pictures. You're going to get coins with Cesar Borgia on it. Then you know you took the mark of the beast. Let me look at some of these here. I'm not going to play this whole video. This is currently still live, I believe. More people should be watching. Because his elder gets his facts together. Pretty much a lot of times I just hit the button, or sometimes I'll have a list that I'll put a list together, and if I ain't got nothing to say, I'll just go by the list. Or I might spend 15-20 minutes putting some precepts together, some articles together, but that's all through the Spirit. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. Let me see. Okay, put up by David 2, as in the number 2, Revelation 13:16, and he causes all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. That word there is charagma, which is a physical thing. It's found in the word mark, charagma, is found only in the book of Revelation, I believe 6 or 7 times, and one other time outside the book of Revelation, which is the book of Acts. I'm not going to go to it. I may go to it in a minute, but when you go to the book of Acts, matter of fact, I will go into it, in their right hand on their foreheads. Now the word there should be, let's read it correctly. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a chip, a physical chip. And the way you put the physical chip or the charagma in your right hand or your forehead or your brain is with a karax, which is a delivery system of, like a hypodermic needle. They give you your medicine. Well, a delivery system is going to be through a sort of a it's going to be like a, how can I put it? I mean, I can show you the pictures of it, but it's a needle big enough where it can push through a chip about the size of a grain of rice. You've seen this chip before. That's what John saw. He saw a doctor or a tattoo artist, and he had maybe a man or a woman, or you might have seen people lined up, and he saw somebody sitting down, putting their hand out, whether it be right hand, left hand, and having a chip put inside him. Then he saw an operating table with doctors surrounding the guy and they're putting the actual chip in his brain. This is what John saw. He didn't know what it was. John didn't say, oh, that's the micro C-hip. That's an MOTB. He didn't say that. He did not say that. He just wrote it down. So let's deal with this word mark right here. And you have to go to these root words, because if you put the word mark in, I'm going to show you something. Let me show you something. Let's just go to, let's put in the word mark. Mark. The word mark, name mark, does not mean the same thing. If you look, let's see how many times it comes up. Okay, do you mean to perform a word search on mark? Genesis said a mark, a mark, a mark. So let's look this up in the Hebrew. This is your last chance. IUIC, ISUBK, Genesis and Sakari, all right, because they're teaching that the mark of the beast is the microchip. They correct on that. Whoosh. A clock is correct 2 times in a day. Mark, mark, mark. The word there is awath. Signal, signal, a distinguishing mark, banner, remembrance, malicious sign, omen, warning, token, ensign, standard, miracle proof. Token, right? This is for the root word, or the word of a mark. Genesis 4. Okay, nothing on Leviticus. Okay. Okay, so let's come on back. Okay, so the mark, the word mark comes up 37 times. Let's see if it's in the book of Revelation. Now, when you click on this, Revelation, let's go here, mark, different word, not awath. So let's do this. And even Bishop Nate, as of maybe 3-4 months ago, he read this Christian publication, and in the publication, the particular book, they called themselves Deciphering Revelation 13 and 16, and Captain Yuri read it, and he said he came across the word mark, or he came across the document, and he said mark, he said charagma, and Bishop Nate said karagma. So he knows that it's a, so if he said karagma,
Strong's G 5480. Charagma.
Let's do this. This is G 5480. I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but we're trying to we're trying to knock that zombie spell off of these IUIC members, because they are under a zombie spell. Even the blue letter got it right. A stamp, an imprinted mark. So it's physical. You can't imprint something with the spirit. Of the mark stamped on the foreheads or right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist, or the spirit, the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan. The mark branded upon horses, thing carved, sculpture, graven work of idolatrous images. During the time of Antiochus Epiphanes and the particular Ptolemy that was ruling in Egypt, they had the people, and they had Jews do it too. They said, look, you got to take this ivy leaf, and that's in the blue in the Bible Hub. So they did get marks. The Romans, I just was watching half of the movie Gladiator 2. There was a scene where the gladiators were actually getting marked. It wasn't the MOTB. It was a brand. It's for ownership. When you brand your horses and your cattle, if your cattle strays into another person's past a gate, and he said, no, this is my cattle, then you go right to where he was branded at, a mark. So that's what they're going to do, to identify you as a slave of the Illuminati. Right, a stamp, an imprinted mark, thing carved. Now when you carve something, you're working with wood and a chisel. When you're sculpting something, you're working with, it could be clay. You can harden the clay and sculpt it, or you can take stone. Graven is also stone of idolatrous images. Now here's a precept. Acts 17 and 29. So this word mark, G5480, is in the scriptures, New Testament, how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times in Revelation 13, 14, 15, 16, 19, and 20. The only other time you see this word in G5480 is in Acts 17 verse 29. What does it say? Well, it says, if you go up a couple of verses, the Apostle Paul is explaining that we are offsprings of the Most High. Not like the Most High came down and had sex with each and every last one of your mothers. We are spiritual offspring. It's not a physical thing. You're not the physical body. You don't have the DNA of the Most High. He's spirit. Let me read it. For as much then as we are the offspring of God, spiritual offsprings, we ought not to think that the Godhead is like unto gold or silver or stone, graven by art of men's devices. What does it mean by men's devices? They sculpt things. A famous sculptor, let me go to it. The Four Quaternions. Give me a second. Let me do it this way. Okay, the Four Quaternions of Let me see if this is it. Oh no, this is not it. Let me do this. In Venice. Venice. Nope. It's an E. Let's try it this way. Okay, here we go. The Tetrarchs of Venice, because we were ruling Venice at that time. This was around 300. Portrait of the four Tetrarchs, dated to around 300 AD. One of them, Constantius, was the father of Constantine the Great. Let's go to images. Now why not? Give me a second. Let me bring this back. Let me do it this way. Here we go. Now let me do this. Okay, we don't need to go no place else. These are jakes. Made from porphyrious, whatever, rye. A rare, I guess it's rare, rock, so maybe it's a rare rock with a regal purple red hue. The structure, or the statue, memorializes a strange political period in Roman history. This is when Jake took over. Take a closer look and you'll realize one of the figures missing limbs also hints its pre-Venetian past. Well, I see the nose is missing. I see the nose is missing. These were Jake's. Let me do this. So, did this just come out of heaven? No, this was a slab of stone that a artist that used chisel, that chiseled that. This is fine work right here. This goes back 300 AD. Esau came along and said, nope, these motherfuckers ain't niggas. Chisel their noses off. You see the beard? One of them looked like Ash from the HODC. The Roman statue is missing a limb from when the Venetians stole it from Constantinople during the Crusade. Okay. It sounded like Denzel. Okay. Okay. See, they're not going to tell you, oh, these guys happen to be black. Anyway, this was a big slab of stone that an expert chiseler, or more than one chiseler, had to chisel it out. So this is why, let's come back to Acts. Sometimes you chisel things using stone. You got silver jewelry on with your name on it and a heart, whatever, you and your girl's name on it. Gold, you have a design on the gold. It had to be done by work of man's hands. It had to be graven. So that word, let's come back to Revelation. Let's come back over here. It said, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a graving in their right hand or in their foreheads. If you can't see that, Bishop Nate, you sold out. So now let's come back over here. So let's listen.
Microchip. You're not going to be allocated digital currencies depending on how many days you worship white Jesus or how many sins you've committed today. It's going to be based on the microchip. That's the payment system that they're going to finally move to.
And if you've been watching the news like I watch, I got the Roku on. I got it on sometime I got it on Alex Jones, sometime I got it on conspiratorial stuff, sometime I got it on World Alternative Media, sometime I got it on the People's Voice. I think that's called the People's Voice, where you get this alternative news. And I'm also on the web, like on the Sabbath. Vocab Malone asks whatever her name is, Napataya, whatever her name is. He said, what do you do on the Sabbath? Oh, I get up sometime 10 o'clock, and what do you do? I watch TV all day. Well, if I'm watching TV, I'm watching, I got news playing, and I'm in front of the computer putting up videos. That's why if you notice, on the Sabbath, well, pretty much any day, my goal is to do as many videos as the Spirit allows me to do. But on the Sabbath, you know I'm going to do more than one video because I'm here in the house. I'm not doing nothing. I'm stuck in the house. You know? So I'm tending to the work of the Lord. Okay. So we're telling you what it means. We're breaking it down to you the right way. Oh, like I was going to say, what was it, yesterday, the day before, I think it's a 2-day event, cryptocurrency conference, something like that. Matter of fact, let me do this. See, you guys don't know how to look at the news and filter it through the scriptures. Let me see if I can pick it up. Give me a second here, because I'm trying to help you. Cryptocurrency conference. Okay. Cryptocurrency conference. There was a major conference and they had it for hours. Let me see. Give me a second here. Let me do this. Okay, they cut it out. The original was like, I think it was a 2 or 3 day event, two-day event. And they had one YouTube page. Okay. It said Bitcoin, 1 day ago, Bitcoin conference, Las Vegas live, J.D. Vance delivers. Remember when Trump, now they call him Taco. Trump, which is an acronym for Trump, always chickening out. So they snapping on him now. These other major nations are laughing behind his back. They laughing pretty much in front of his face too. Now remember when Trump was the president, the first time he was a president, he was dead set against, and I'm not into the currency stuff. When he was running for president this time, he's with it. He attended conferences, he spoke, great swelling words about this marvelous thing called currency. He even has his own Bitcoin. So anyway, this is the whole conference. This is day 1. Bitcoin conference, Las Vegas live, J.D. Vance delivers. Okay, J.D. Vance, vice president right here, calls for U.S. crypto leadership in address to Bitcoin conference, CNBC, which is the financial channel for the NBC, which is on cable. Look at this. See these numbers? 11 hours, almost 12 hours. Almost 12 hours. Let me open it up. I'm not going to play it. So if they're going to be somewhere...
Performing on the biggest stage in the world was just one of my journey.
Give me a second. Okay, so this is it. This is it. Let me open this up. What is this here? President of... okay, Vice President. He has his own podium. Vice President of the United States. So they put out his podium. Let me do this. I don't know if he speak. Okay, let me go 3 hours. Boy, he's up for 3 hours. 3 hours. He's still up and talking. 4 hours. So this is some serious business. You got a damn conference that goes on for, wow, this man doesn't stop. This is 8 hours, 9 hours. This man's an Energizer Bunny. So this must be something very, very important. And he must know more about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Now, if you got 12 hours to spare, you listen to the whole thing. As a matter of fact, let me do this. Let me go to YouTube. Give me a second.
Who's coming in the driveway?
Got a commercial. These people are serious about what they're doing. So what I'll do is, okay, let me see something here. Give me a second. Let me go skip this.
Start by making one thing abundantly clear.
So there had to be a lot of stuff said in this 12-hour conference. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to save it, and I'll listen to it, some of it in my leisure. Let me see. Okay, I got it. And this was for, I believe it was 2 days. And this guy stayed up, look. It's 2 hours. This guy stood up there. He got a lot of endurance, man. For 12 hours. You ain't seen him leave the stage. You ain't seen him drink water. The spirit of Beelzebub was on this man. Look at this. He going like an Energizer Bunny. Donald J. Trump sees it now because they told him, this is what you're going to be. You're going to be the next president. You're going to have to push. You're going to have to get to learn to like the crypto stuff. His first term, he didn't believe it. Now he believes in it. One step closer to the what? The MOTB. Now let's come back over here. And she's an expert. I've been listening to her. What's her name? Kathleen Fitz, whatever her name is. Let me X this out. I don't know why I didn't want this. Let's just listen. So we here at Great Millstone, we giving you the 100% truth. No one, you cannot get this truth, 100% truth from nowhere but the men of GMS, starting from the apostles on down. Even our elders over us didn't know about this. The 7, they didn't know about this.
But the foundations have to be laid. And the foundations of the microchip is the digital currencies. It's not white Jesus.
But it gives you the ability to issue programs.
And if I was a member coming up and they said it's Jesus and showing, I said, no, I ain't with this, bro. And I'll question it. And I'll be kicked out. I would be kicked out. If any of us from GMS was in the minds that we have, the spirits that we have, we got kicked out of IUIC a long time ago.
Money and do complete surveillance and control of where and how people use their money. Now, I say that CBDCs are quite dangerous, and they are. However, it's very important to understand that this kind of complete...
This is fair use, fair use, fair use. Let me change the speed. Not because the brother is going to take me down, but I'm sorry. Come back over here. Where am I? Speed. We'll go to 5. I'm slow. I believe that's slowing it down.
Complete control comes about not through CBDCs, but having an all-digital monetary system. So what we want to stop is an all-digital monetary system, because it is possible to...
Because it's going to be worldwide. Worldwide. So before they give you the micro C-HIP, they're going to do away with the paper dollar and the digital dollar that you have in your bank. Each bank has their form. If I cash a check, I put it through the kiosk, it becomes digital. Tells me, oh, you have 2,000 in the bank. You have 1,000 in the bank. Overdraft, whatever the case may be. That's all digital. You took your check, all your dollar bills, y'all. You made it digital, then you can turn around, oh, I need $50. You go to the kiosk, you type in $50 digitally, it says $50 comes out, and lo and behold, $50 pop out. Because that's what you need. Right? But each bank has its own, in other words, you can go to another bank and put your numbers in and your ID, and they'll charge you. The bank that you have an account with, they don't charge you for doing that, dealing with the kiosk. They are. So eventually what's going to happen is the CBDC is just, the US is, whenever you put in money and it becomes digital, that digital money is going to have a digital fingerprint on it that links up to you. So they want to know, let's go pull up Mr. Smith. Oh, Mr. Smith, he made a purchase for a brand new car, and he got a loan from the bank for $60,000, which is, break it up to however many years, 5 years, whatever the case may be. You went to the store, you brought some eggs, some milk, some this, some that, some the third. Your car broke down, you had to change the alternator to start or whatever. All they got to do is put your information in. They know the exact time, the day, the time that you got the starter put in. They know everything. If you're a mechanic, you do weekend side work. Your neighbor, you charge them $250. Guess what? That's all digital. So guess what? If $50 got to come out of that for tax, guess what? It's going to be deducted from your $250, so you're going to get $200. So people really don't want this. But this is the foundation for what's eventually is going to happen is they're going to put a chip in your hand or a chip in your head. And when when the IUIC and IUCPK going to get shooken up in these other camps, when it actually comes, and you got to get that chip. If you don't want to get that chip, that's so, Mr. So-and-so, you can't participate in the system. So what you going to do? Let's listen. Remember, you heard it first from GMS. GMS has 100% truth. No other camp can say that.
Do the equivalent of CBDCs on a private basis. So I can use merchant codes with your bank account and your credit card. I can kick you off your online payment systems if I don't like what you're saying on social media. There are many different ways if we go to an all-digital financial system.
Take away the word if, when. The word is when, not if, but when. When? 6 months from now? A year from now? 9 months from now? It's right at the door.
We have digitized throughout our economy, so our homes are full of digitized equipment. that can be identified and surveilled. Our cars are more and more electric. They can be stopped remotely.
They can be stopped remotely. You go through a red light, the cops stop you, they hit a button, boop, stop his car. All of a sudden your car no longer runs and you pull it over and the cop, then you can run out the car. Oh, the Teslas had reports where this one Jake woman, older woman, her Tesla broke down, the tow truck came to get her car. She tried to get out the car, she couldn't get out the car. They had to hoist the truck and tow it with her in it, and they had to do whatever. This is her car now. She couldn't open up her car. So was that a glitch in the matrix? Or can cops say, okay, turn his car off. He got enough room where it goes into neutral. He pulls the car over. He goes to open the door. The cop block the doors. You there. The chicken is in the basket, baby. You're going to realize, you're going to say what I've been saying. GMS was always right.
The thing to understand is if we go to an all digital transaction.
All digital transaction. They're not trying to connect your pictures of white Jesus in your house. It's all to do with everything has been digitalized. Your homes, your cars, your money. And the microchip is the last part of this jigsaw puzzle. They're not concerned about how many pictures of white Jesus you've got hanging in your yard. Right? They're not concerned about that. They're not concerned about what sins you've committed today. This whole new system that's going to be interacting with AI, artificial intelligence, is what they're going to use to manage this system. But the foundations of it has to be put in place. So that's getting everything digitalized, from your houses to your cars, right? To your money. Let's get the foundation in, then we can push the final part of the jigsaw puzzle, which is the chip. That's what she says. I mean, listen to what she says again.
Our cars are more digitized system. We have digitized throughout our economy, so our homes are full of digitized equipment that can be identified and surveilled. Our cars are more and more electric. They can be stopped remotely. The thing to understand is if we go to an all digital transaction system, financial transaction system, with a digital ID, so I can tell you're you and I'm me with great precision, then suddenly all those different digitized items and equipments and systems snap into one complete control grid. And the key to that snapping into the control grid is the digital ID and the all digital monetary system. Now, let me tell you what that looks like, because we don't have a financial problem. We have a governance problem. If you do it in a system where a secret governance system that is non-transparent and outside of your control, if that gives them the power to basically turn on and shut off your transactions, you know, we're in a coup d'etat world. By creating an all-digital transaction system with a digitized economy.
Somebody look at coup d'etat. I know what it means, but look it up and put it in the chat.
And a digital ID. Suddenly, the central bankers now control fiscal policy. They can determine where you go, when you go. So let's go back to the pandemic. During the pandemic, if the lockdown said you can't go more than a mile from your home and you can only go that on Tuesday and Thursday,
That's digital slavery. That's digital slavery.
All digitized economy with satellite flying overhead, they can literally track you, and if you don't do what they say, they can turn off your money. Now what this means is you not only have usurping of the people's representatives, but you have a...
And if you don't do it, they say they can turn off your money.
If you got the chip. We ain't planning on getting no chip. But so you can't buy and sell.
That's going to come via the microchip, the digital currencies. They're not going to ask you how many pictures, how many copies of White Jesus have you got in your house. They're not going to sit there and ask you how much sins have you committed today. That's got nothing to do with the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is the microchip. The foundation for the mark of the beast is the digitalization of the whole system.
Usurping of the state powers. So under the Constitution, the powers not delegated to the federal government are the reserved to the states. But now the central bankers asserting line of fiscal policy, making the rules and enforcing them essentially, can literally control healthcare or other powers reserved to the states. And by the ability to literally control your financial transactions. The way to make that transition is just say
the ability to physically control, literally control your transactions. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Right? So that he can't what? Buy or sell. Let's see, he has the mark of the beast. The name of the beast and the number of his name physically control what you buy and sell. This is why everything is being digitalized. What the hell has White Jesus and the amount of sins you've committed today got to do with it? To think the IUIC are still pushing that madness and their congregation.
Because they paid out. They sold out. He sold out.
Swallowing it up like Kool-Aid. It's mad. Any Israelite camp that is pushing that the mark of the beast is anything else but the microchip, they are drinking the Kool-Aid. It's as clear as day what's going on.
Take total control. You know, if you don't eat cricket flour and synthetic meat made in the lab, you know, we'll turn off your money. Use cash, encourage...
We'll turn off your money. It's as simple as that.
Hey, you ain't gonna have no money to turn off because you're not gonna be in the system. You get in the system, you're gonna wind up eating in America. I don't know what's gonna happen to the rest of the world. Because the Most High is not going to kill everybody, in my estimation, on the planet. It's for the people that's going to eat that fire is the people in America, and I would say Israel. These other, I don't know how it's going to work with the people that have the mark that live outside of the country. Can the Most High just kill you? No, because everybody be dead. But we do know if you had to take the chip, leave America. Maybe you won't die. But they're gonna get a wake up call. These other camps that come up against GMS, they're gonna get a wake up call very soon. It can happen inside of 6 months.
Everyone knows, seems the people in the secular world seem to know what's going on more than a lot of these Israelites that are out there, truly, that's pushing this madness. The Lord, they're getting ready to decree, this is it here, Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them Right? Isaiah chapter 10 verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. They are prescribing this microchip and this digitalization of the whole system for you. This is the grievousness that they're preparing. To turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, that they may rob the fatherless. And what will you do in the day of visitation, and in the desolation which shall come from far? To whom will you flee for help? And where will you leave your glory? Because that's the end result of the end result, right? The desolation, the destruction. But before that, these unrighteous, grievous degrees that they are writing, that they are prescribing, is to bring in this new world order. It's as simple as that. It's as clear as day. The Lord says, right, Habakkuk 2, right, for the vision. Habakkuk 2 and 1, right? Yahweh answers the prophets. This is why we can't even say those brothers are prophets in the IEIC and ISUPK, because they can't see the main prophecies that are playing out in front of their faces. And their congregation is drinking the Kool-Aid like there's no tomorrow. It's crazy. Habakkuk 2 and 1, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower. I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon the tables, as plain as day, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. But what? But at the end it shall speak, and we are at the end, and not lie. Though it tarry. They say, oh no, it's going to be microchip, it's not coming. Yeah, the foundation, they're just finished. They just do give you the finishing touches to the foundation. They're smoothing off the last piece of the foundation before they introduce, whether it's a Black Swan event or a 9/11 event, to introduce the chip. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's talking about it. Let's just play this.
Ursula von der Leyen, perhaps the most prominent advocate of that dreaded COVID passport, was out there advocating that we all have to have digital IDs because the future will be digital. You shouldn't have privacy, apparently. Yeah, that's what she believes. She claims that the IDs can be a real booster to emerging economies. The trick is to build public digital infrastructure, she said.
Yeah, this is Laura Ingraham talking from Fox News, cable news, whatever. And she's gonna wind up taking the chip.
It is interoperable, open to all, and trusted.
That's the foundations. The digital infrastructure.
Anyway, you can watch the rest of this. He's obviously finished, but you can watch this from the beginning. Okay? Remember, you heard it first from GMS. Shalom.